But the message of Zen is that it's okay, because in fact we already did lose it. It's already lost. Now that is precisely what Dairyu is trying to teach. That the very same thing that we call loss is, in fact, the imperishable Dharma body. We can't get our minds around it, because it's not something that is known by the mind, but it is something that we can experience, and we can experience it ever more clearly through this practice. And that's how Zen, I mean, Zen is simply a practice to bring, a deep peace of mind is what we can get from this practice. And from that deep peace, what Dogen actually called Eihei, great peace, or everlasting peace. I mean, it's not an exaggeration, actually, to say everlasting peace. It really isn't. And, I speak as an ordinary troubled guy, that actually we can find, in the midst of our troubled lives, everlasting peace. It's not a trick, it's not a joke, it's not any kind of, well, it's true. It's actually true. It's the most remarkable thing. We can be, and not only that, but actually that everlasting peace is so very intrinsic to us, even in our troubled selves. It's not an acquisition. It's much more a matter of exposing what is already here. That's why Dogen called it the gate of ease and joy, because in his practice of Zazen, we are gradually shedding stuff. I mean, it doesn't always feel like that, I know, it feels like all kinds of things as we sit through it, but we are shedding. And as we're shedding, we are more and more revealing Eihei, everlasting peace. Unmon, in another koan, he says, hidden in the mountain of form, there lies a single jewel, one jewel. Hidden in everything, hidden in each thing. Not just sort of in everything in a big sense, but in this stick, in this finger, in this little sound. Hidden in that sound is a jewel. And what that jewel is everlasting peace. And what that jewel is precisely Abigail, Chris, Gudrun, Catherine. It's precisely each of us. Now, don't hope to get it with the mind. The mind may get some sort of notion of this stuff, but it's always a very uncomfortable wraparound. It doesn't really fit, and it shouldn't, because it's not something that the mind is capable of grasping, actually. And if we try to grasp it with the mind and think we have, we've undoubtedly kind of got it wrong. It's only an experience. And that's why we study these koans, because they offer us an opportunity to experience what the teaching of Zen is, without our minds. Okay, so Unmon spoke to the assembly saying the old Buddha and the pillar intermingle. Well, in the language I've just been using, everlasting peace and the itch on the side of my knee intermingle, or everlasting peace and the beautiful yellow flower intermingle, or everlasting peace and the crack, that particular crack in the floor, just here, there's a lovely little hairline crack. That crack and the indestructible, everlasting Dharma body intermingle. What level of activity is this? What kind of activity is it? And then he replies, because nobody else does, clouds arise on South Mountain, rain falls on North Mountain. But this is his another beautiful expression of his of how the old Buddha, the great fact, functions. It functions actually as the pillar, and it functions as clouds on South Mountain, and it functions as rain falling on North Mountain. Always freely functioning in infinite ways, and each mode of its functioning is entire and complete and is the fullness of it itself, and also at the same time includes all other aspects of its functioning. Okay, that's how I take Unmon myself from various comments I've studied of his over multiple times. That he really, it's like I'm trying to think of a good analogy. It's like, some little peg that you'd think would hold everything together. With Unmon, there's just gone. And nothing needs to be held together, because it's all functioning so freely. It's like multiple freedom in multiple dimensions all at once. Unmon. That's Unmon's beauty. So let me just take a look at this verse of Setcho's about this koan. Clouds on South Mountain, rain on North Mountain. 4 times 7, 2 times 3, they see it right before them. In the kingdom of Silla, he has already ascended the preaching seat. In the kingdom of Tan, they have not yet struck the drum. Pleasure in the midst of suffering, suffering in the midst of pleasure. Who says that gold is like excrement? Okay, and I know that sounds really baffling, but I'm going to try and just clarify a little bit. Clouds on South Mountain, rain on North Mountain, as Unmon said. By the way, this centre, cloud, mountain cloud, it's well named actually, mountain cloud. It's a very good name. Mountain is earth and cloud is sky. And this practice is about seeing clearly that earth is sky. Sky is the Japanese word ku, which is usually translated as emptiness or empty. So it's to see clearly that the pillar is the old Buddha. It's to see clearly that the dying leaves are just sky. It's to see that clearly. To see that our own ailing bodies, or hopefully not ailing, healthy bodies, are sky. To see that clearly. But then it's also to see that sky is mountain. That very sky we practice hard to clarify is actually no other than our ordinary life and relationships, and then be free in it, free to love, free to be creatively allowing the generative force, basically, of the way to express itself freely through us, to be its puppet, really, or the glove on its hand. Clouds on South Mountain, rain on North Mountain. That's how it's functioning. That's how it's functioning right here. Then he says 4 times 7, 2 times 3. This is this is a reference to 4 times 7, you know, is 28, so there are 28 Zen ancestors in India. 2 times 3 is 6, and there are 6 initial Chinese ancestors once Zen came to China. So he's talking about the Zen ancestors collectively. They see it right before them. They see this clear as a bell. In the kingdom of Silla, that's Korea, he's already ascended the preaching seat. I was trying to tell you how free Unmon is. So in Korea, Unmon's already got up on the seat and started preaching. In the kingdom of Tang in China, they haven't even struck the drum yet to signal that there will be a talk. That's also Unmon. Pleasure in the midst of suffering, suffering in the midst of pleasure. What's that about? Pleasure in the midst of suffering. How do you take that? Pleasure in the midst of suffering. How could we be okay in the middle of suffering? I mean, I told you before that Tozan didn't mind going to hell because of the Dharma. Having found the Dharma, he knew that nothing was outside it. Nothing could be outside it. I mean, actually, this comes right back to this body dies. What's the indestructible Dharma body? This body. It's this body. It's this dying body. It's this moment gone in a blink. Who says that gold is like excrement? That's actually, there's a little story attached to that line about 2 Chinese poets who were regarded as siblings. They were so close in the way they wrote their poetry and the way they lived. And some comment was made of them, like, actually, I'm really sorry, I can't remember. I'm really sorry. There's a story about it, about a comment that was made about these 2 guys. Oh boy, I just can't remember. Anyway, let's take it like this. I mean, if we could just look at you see, okay, let me try and explain this, because even without the story, it makes a kind of sense that gold. We might say that gold was really nothing like excrement. Fair enough. But then when we discover that everything is sky, we might be tempted to say, well, gold and excrement are one and the same, which is on a certain level true. But we have to go beyond that in Zen training to appreciating that gold is nothing but gold, and that the gold that gold is consumes everything. So there's only gold. When it's gold, it's only gold. When there's excrement, there's only excrement. And yet at the same time, what do they have to do with each other? I think that's why Secha brings it up right here. The old Buddha and the pillar intermingle. Am I being really confusing? I've got a feeling that I am. Well, that may be okay. This stuff, it doesn't work with the mind. But, oh boy, when we taste it, you know. That's what we're here to do, is actually taste it. And it's not really just a matter of tasting it, it's a matter of exploring, investigating the core of who we are. And the core of our being, our existence.